Hi, welcome to my channel. This is my 1984 Chevrolet Corvette. This car came out as the first year, 1984, of the C4 generation. Came equipped with the Crossfire intake and a 4-speed automatic with the Z51 sport package. This car I purchased last year and slowly been working on it, getting it up to standards for kind of more or less a daily driver today. Really have done quite a bit of work to it so far, so let's go over that. First off, I guess we'll start with the headlights. I've done an LED conversion on it. This is just using your standard 5x7 bulbs, full replacement. I did have to install a second relay to get them all working, get the high beams working and whatnot, but other than that, it was pretty straightforward. Wouldn't say necessarily plug and play, but not too difficult at all, as it uses the same factory connectors as the original bulbs. For tires, I decided to go with the 245 50 R16 Starfire WRs by Cooper. These are pretty much the closest you can get to factory size tires for this year. I did mount them on IROC rims just due to the fact I don't have the original rims for this car, and honestly I think they look pretty sweet on the car as it is. So I have really no desire to go to something else. I wanted the taller sidewall on the tire just because this is a Z51 suspension package on it, so this should help dampen a little bit of those bumps a little bit nicer than, say, the 17-inch rim saw blades that I had on the car when I purchased it. Also, as you can kind of see behind, I've replaced the rotors and pads. I've done cross drilled and slotted rotors with carbon fiber infused ceramic pads. Coming around to the rear of the car, I decided to ditch the factory power antenna. A couple of reasons being is A, I don't really listen to the radio too often, so I don't really need some crazy good high-end antenna. B, thing weighed a bunch of, weighed a lot actually. It was pretty heavy for what it was. And C, I wanted something that kind of look a little bit more modern, at the same time still be functional. This is a rubber antenna as well, so it is flexible, so I can, don't have to worry about necessarily, worrying about high winds bending it or breaking it or anything like that, or rain or hail or etc., or whatever the case may be, or just getting stuck up or in the down position like the old one was stuck up. Coming around to the back, it does have the 90s rear end swap done to it. It is kind of interesting because this kind of more looks like the ZR1 rear end, just for the fact that there is no center light. Being an 84, it also doesn't have the center light on the top either, so it's kind of unique. Exhausts, got these bad boys just installed on here. It's just an axle back, basically still pretty factory under there, but it sounds pretty good, looks pretty mean. So yeah, also installed a rear view camera. As you know, sitting so low in these cars, having a camera definitely helps. And that's about it for the rear end. Alright, moving on in the car, it's pretty stock looking, with the exception of the CD player, which I'll show you in a second. I did add a fuel pressure gauge to the pillar, just so that way with the FiTech swap, I can kind of keep an eye on it. Let's just turn on the gauges here, and you see it's the old school 80s crazy one. Now here's the deck. It is a flip up deck. It's made by Pioneer. It does have Android Auto. Please ignore the beeping. It's just because the car hasn't been starting a little bit and fuel pressure is a little bit low. It's warning me. The Android Auto should be coming in a second. So while we're waiting for that, this car originally came with the fiberglass top, and I did manage to get the trade straight up for the acrylic top. And he also with the trade also gave me a new steering wheel, which is the original old school kind of skinnier one. Mine was all melted and gross. This is a much more modern, or much nicer condition anyways. Still not perfect, but it is a huge improvement to what was on there. Now as you can see over here, my Android's popping up. It is all wireless. Sorry about the loud music there. I didn't realize it was so loud. I just got the subwoofer back working. So she does sound pretty good. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the interior, but let's fire her up and pop the hood. And kind of let's listen to the exhaust too a little bit as well. So this is a cold start. It's first time started today, but as you can hear, she sounds pretty mean. Let's pop the hood here. She's starting to warm up now, starting to idle a little bit better. So she's a good old, again, L83. There was no swap done to the engine itself, but the whole fuel injection system obviously has been replaced. The FiTech system, so far pretty happy with it. Here's the little extra set of relays I had installed for the lights. Yeah, so still working on it. Still got some issues to figure out, but she's getting there. And she'll idle back down again. So she's running pretty good. Yeah, so that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for more updates on the forum.